This is Rainbow River in Central Florida. It is unreal how beautiful this is. It makes for a perfect, easy adventure with your family. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know so that you too can have this amazing day. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kate from Sunshine Fam Guide, and I love helping you to plan the family trip and adventure of your dreams. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing. Now, let's dive on in. Rainbow River is located in Dunnellon, Florida, and it truly feels like one of those hidden pockets of old Florida. It's a little bit tucked away, surrounded by nature with a small town nearby. Depending where you're coming from, it's roughly an hour and a half from both Tampa and Orlando, give or take a little, depending on traffic, of course. Now, there are a lot of different ways to experience Rainbow River. There are multiple launch points for kayaks, paddleboards, boats, and inner tubes, plus plenty of shuttle services and tour operators. But for this video, I want to show you exactly what worked best for us as a family of 4 with a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, because I know that sometimes these kinds of adventures can feel intimidating with younger kids. So this is the exact route and strategy we used, and I think it's one of the easiest and most enjoyable ways for families to experience Rainbow River. We decided to launch from KP Hole Park, which is a county-run park that I'll show you more of in just a minute. But first, let me explain the route we chose because this part made a huge difference. So instead of floating downriver first, we actually paddled upriver from KP Hole toward Rainbow Springs State Park. And before that sounds terrible, I promise it wasn't. Rainbow River has a very gentle current, so paddling upriver was very manageable for our family, even with young kids. And doing it this way ended up being the best decision because once we reached Rainbow Springs State Park, we spent time there swimming, exploring, having lunch. Then the paddle back was super easy, a very relaxing float because we were going with the current. So essentially, we got the hard part out of the way first and enjoyed the rest as an easy, beautiful drift back to KP Hole. We ended up spending about 4 hours total on the river from about 9 a.m. or so to 2 p.m., which felt like the perfect amount of time for our family. So now let me show you the exact route that we took, plus all the stops, swimming spots, and little details along the way that made this such a fun and easy family adventure. Now let's get back to KP Hole Park where we launched our kayaks from because there are definitely a few important things you should know before coming here. First of all, get here early. We arrived around 9 a.m. and the parking lot was already filling up quickly. You'll likely run into a bit of a line when you first arrive, whether you're checking in, renting equipment, booking tours, or just paying to access the park, but don't stress. Everyone was working incredibly hard, and overall, we found the process to be very smooth. KP Hole also has bathrooms, rental stations, and lockers available on site, which we found really helpful for a full family day on the river. And really, even just standing near the launch area gets you excited. The views of Rainbow River from the park are absolutely stunning. Now, one very important thing to know before you pack for the day: disposable bags and containers are not allowed on Rainbow River, and they take this very seriously. If you're caught bringing disposable plastics onto the river, you will get fined. Since we rented our kayaks here, there were also several staff members helping families get everything loaded up, adjusted, and ready to go, which made the whole process easier. And then finally, it was time to launch. The second we got out onto the water, we were completely blown away. Rainbow River is one of those places that almost doesn't even feel real in person. The water is unbelievably clear, the scenery is absolutely gorgeous, and it is just amazing. As you paddle along, keep your eyes open because there's a good chance you will spot wildlife, turtles, birds, fish, and if you're lucky, maybe even otters along the riverbanks. And truly, this first stretch of the river is where you start to realize why people love this place so much. It is just incredible. Next up, I'm going to show you a very special little spot along the river that feels like a secret. This magical little spot is called Gissy Springs. You'll find it about a quarter-mile upriver from KP Hole after launching. Trust me, you are going to want to stop here. Now, one important thing to know before visiting: part of the area further back is private property, and it is really important to respect that. But truly, there is already plenty to explore before you even reach that point. And wow, this place completely blew us away. This is one of those locations that instantly becomes a core memory. For our family, it genuinely felt like stepping into some sort of magical combination of Jurassic Park, Narnia, and a hidden fairy world all at once. The water here is unbelievably clear, like crystal clear to the bottom clear. And one of the best parts for families is how shallow and calm it is. The kids could comfortably walk around, splash, swim, snorkel, and explore. It just feels magical. The color of the water almost doesn't even look real in person, especially when the sunlight hits the springs through the trees overhead. Truly, if you are visiting Rainbow River, I think Gissy Springs is an absolute cannot miss stop. It feels like one of those rare places that reminds you just how beautiful Florida really is. After leaving this little magical slice of paradise, we hopped back into our kayaks and continued paddling upriver until we reached Rainbow Springs State Park. This area is definitely worth the stop. Rainbow Springs was actually designated a national natural landmark, and once you arrive, it's very easy to understand why. If you're arriving by kayak or paddleboard like we did, you can dock your vessel for a small fee, just a couple of dollars, and then take a short walk directly into the state park itself. This park is very well done. There are picnic areas, pavilions, bathrooms, a concession area, and even a visitor center where you can grab snacks, drinks, river gear, and little souvenirs. But there's also so much more to explore beyond just the river access. There are walking trails throughout the park, gardens, and even man-made waterfalls that feel very tropical and peaceful. For our family, the biggest highlight was definitely the swimming area. Our kids had the best time jumping off the dock into the crystal clear spring water. And yes, the water here is 72 degrees, just like the rest of Rainbow River, so it feels very refreshing on a hot Florida day. The swimming area is very well managed, which made us feel very comfortable as parents. There's patrol boats, park staff, and even park rangers throughout the area, so it just feels safe, organized, and very family friendly. They also have additional rentals available on site if you need them. We ended up spending about 2 hours here total, swimming, relaxing, eating lunch, just enjoying the day before eventually headed back out into Rainbow River for the paddle downstream. And truly, I would absolutely recommend building this stop into your day. After leaving the state park, we hopped back into our kayaks and began the paddle back towards KP Hole. And this part was so relaxing because we had already done the upper river portion earlier. We were now floating with the current, which made the ride back very easy. By the time we got back to KP Hole and in the car, we were exhausted in the best possible way. So if you're looking for a Florida adventure that feels both easy and magical, add Rainbow River to your family bucket list. And if you enjoy family travel ideas like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I'll be sharing new adventures every single week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.